Throughout the history of cinema, some terrible people have produced some pretty good movies. In 1970, Jiang Qing produced Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy. In 1943, Joseph Goebbels produced Munchausen. And in 1910, Thomas Edison produced the first film adaptation of Frankenstein. It doesn't stick too close to the book. Here's what I saw. A young art student, about 30 years old, not that young, decides he's going to go off to university and become an artist, and his family is very supportive of this. He goes off to the university. After 2 years, he decides he's discovered the secret of life and death, and he is just so excited about this. So he goes to one of his rooms. He's very rich, and he writes his girlfriend a letter and says, I've discovered the secret of life and death. I'm going to create the greatest, most amazing human being the world's ever known. And he's talking about himself, of course. And then I'm going to come home and marry you, you lucky, lucky girl. So he goes to his art studio, and he's partying. He's very excited about everything. And he's got this really nice studio, too. It's got these big steel doors that open up to an alleyway, and he's got his own dumpster. And so he's doing some rich kid drugs. He's making his own drugs. He's got so much drugs. He's just chucking them in the dumpster and just having the time of his life. And while he's doing this, a woman comes into the alley. And he has a physical relationship with her. And he should not have. So a little while later, he's coming off it, and he's looking through a peephole going, oh my God, is she gone yet? Is she still out there? So he goes up to his dorm room, and it's really nice. Of course it is. The guy's rich. And he's trying to like sleep it off. And the woman from the alley comes in and goes, penny for your thoughts, sweetheart. And he sees her and just flips out. One of his buddies comes in and goes, dude, you're an artist. You had a real life experience. This is awesome. So the next day, he goes home, and he says, feast your eyes upon me, you lucky people. And they say, did anything interesting happen while you were at the university? And he goes, nope, nothing. So he settles back in, goes to his artwork live loft. It's this fancy place with a huge mirror. And his fiancee shows up, and she brings him a flower and puts it in his lapel. And she goes, I got to go use the bathroom. So she takes off. And the woman from the alley shows up. She followed him home. And she goes, her? With you? And when you could have me? And just take off that stupid flower. And then his fiance comes back in. And the woman from the alley hides behind a curtain, which is actually pretty cool. And so he says, you gotta leave. And so he gets rid of his girlfriend. And the woman from the alley goes, you sly boy. Now we're alone, and you can, relive that magic moment. And he gets upset, and they have kind of like this scuffle, and she sees herself in the mirror and says, what did that lady do to my hair? And leaves. And so the next day he gets married, and he's wearing his artist clothes, and she's wearing a dress that's actually pretty cool, I gotta say. And so everybody leaves, and he's blowing out the candles. He decides to go off and hit the blue switch and turn everything blue. And the lady from the alley shows up. And she goes, I'm in the house now. I can go this way. I can go that way. I can go this way. And she goes back into the other room. And he comes back in. His fiance comes running out. She's freaking out. She falls on the floor. The lady goes, you can have both of us. And he's like, no. And his girlfriend wakes up, and she's like, stop. And he goes, no, just let me deal with this myself. Let me deal with it my way. So he runs after her. So the woman from the alley goes back to the artwork live loft, sees herself in the mirror. And this is where the story changes. She disappears, but stays in the mirror. And then he comes in, looks in the mirror, and has a revelation. He says, oh my God, that woman I made beautiful love to in a drug-filled dumpster was me all along. And then his fiance shows up, and he tells her that, and the story has a happy ending. So anyway, I'm going to walk up to the place where they shot that in the Bronx. It's a 13-mile walk, and I'll take photographs, and I'll post them on my Instagram page at Corey Maccabee 1961.